In the business world, metrics are essential tools for quantifying the information that matters most. In the previous video, we explored how to write metrics using different time handling techniques in Visier formula language, VFL. Today, we'll tackle more advanced topics in VFL, an intuitive way to create custom metrics on Visier's platform. Let's get started. Now that we've covered the basics of writing metrics, let's delve into a more advanced VFL topic, analytic object transformations. These transformations act like views defined on top of an analytic object, allowing us to derive more complex insights. One of the most common transformations is changes of a subject. This transformation captures any state changes of a subject at the exact moment the change happens, effectively creating an event analytic object for the subject. Let's look at an example to see how this event view is created. Imagine Jack, who started in December 2020, reporting to Tom. When Tom left the company, Jack's manager changed to Sarah in February 2023. Later that year, in March, his manager changed to Tina. Finally, after a few months, Jack decided to leave the company in November. The changes of subject transformation captures all these changes in an event-like view, creating two events for each state change. One event captures the value of an attribute before the change. The other event captures the value after the change. Additionally, this transformation identifies conception and termination events. A conception event occurs when there is no prior state for a subject, for example, Jack joining the company in December 2020. A termination event occurs when there is no subsequent state for a subject, for example, Jack leaving the company in November. With this event view, we can write metrics using event time handling functions, such as occurred in. Although being able to capture both previous and next event changes is very powerful, it's worth mentioning, most metrics don't require two events for each state change. Usually, capturing one event per change is enough. To streamline and improve the performance of the queries, we often use either previous changes of the subject or next changes of the subject. Previous changes captures conception events and events related to previous state changes. Next changes captures next state changes and termination events. Now that we know how to use different variations of the changes transformation, let's write a metric together to calculate how many manager changes occurred during a given period. We can calculate manager changes using the changes transformation like this. When working with state changes, we gain access to several specialized functions. Let's explore them together. Previous looks at the subject's state before the change. Next, looks at the subject's state after the change. Has changed identifies if a specific attribute has changed. Conception filters for conception events. Termination filters for termination events. Now let's break down our metric. To calculate the number of manager changes, we apply the changes transformation to employee to get all state changes. Then we use three filters. Has changed direct manager ID ensures we only look at changes to the manager. Is active employee includes only employees active during the specified period. Not conception excludes conception events, as we're interested only in transitions from one manager to another. This approach isn't limited to manager changes. It's highly flexible. You can use it to track job role changes, department transfers, and even the number of requisitions that changed to a closed-filled status within a period. Now that we've explored the changes transformation, let's dive into another essential VFL transformation, traversals. While changes focus on capturing state transitions as events, traversals allow us to create an event view to analyze successful transitions across states, as defined by a from and to condition. This transformation is particularly useful for understanding flows, such as applicants progressing through recruitment stages or employees transitioning between departments. The syntax for a traversal looks like this. Subject specifies the state table, for example, employee, applicant, or task. From defines the condition that marks the start of a traversal. To defines the condition that marks the end of a traversal. Excluding specifies the condition used for excluding specific time periods from the traversal. And the rest of the metric formula is similar to any other event metric. Also, traversals transformation provides access to specialized attributes that give us more insights into the transitions. Traversal duration captures the total time spent in a traversal in milliseconds. Traversal duration working days captures the number of working days spent in a traversal. Starting captures the value of a specific attribute at the start of the traversal. Now let's go over an example together. Normally in Jack's company, successful hires go through a structured process with the following stages. When Jack applied for his current job back in November 2020, his application timeline looked like this. Screen November 9th. Interviews started November 29th. However, from November 13th to November 16th, Jack's application was placed on hold while the company revisited the need for the position. To measure how efficiently applicants like Jack move through this pipeline, we might want to calculate the average time it takes for applicants to move from the screen stage to the interview started stage. This metric helps evaluate our applicant pipeline efficiency. We can use a Traversals transformation like this. This formula calculates the applicant time to move from screen to interviews started. Using the traversal for Jack, the total time between screened and interviewed was 20 days, November 9th to November 29th. After excluding the 3 days Jack's application was on hold, the effective traversal duration is 17 days. This means it took Jack 17 days to move between these two stages. While the process was ultimately successful, 17 days seems like a long time, highlighting that our applicant pipeline has room for improvement in this area. Just like the changes transformation, Traversals is incredibly versatile. You can use it to track applicants progressing through hiring stages, or measure how long employees take to transition between departments, and even analyze the duration of tasks moving from one status to another. With Traversals, you can uncover powerful insights into transitions across states, helping you analyze flows and bottlenecks with precision. The final transformation we'll discuss is prior state. While the changes and Traversals transformations are applied to subjects, prior state is applied to events and is all about examining the context just before an event occurs. This transformation is especially valuable when you want to associate events with the state that existed immediately prior to the event, rather than the state that exists afterward. To make this concept more concrete, let's consider an example. Jack was promoted on February 2023. Before the promotion, Jack was reporting to Tom. After the promotion, Jack moved to a new role under Sarah, his new manager. Now let's say we want to calculate how many employees reporting to a male manager were promoted. If we were to evaluate the promotion event using the state after the event, we would incorrectly attribute the promotion of Jack to Sarah. However, using prior state, the promotion is correctly attributed to Tom, the manager at the time of Jack's prior role. Events are typically associated with the state valid at the time of the event. While this works for many use cases, it can obscure insights when understanding the lead-up to an event is critical. By leveraging prior state, you can ensure your metrics capture the correct context, enabling more accurate and actionable insights. The prior state transformation is not limited to promotions. You can use it in any scenario where understanding the context before an event is crucial. For example, attrition analysis: how many employees reporting to a specific manager left the company? Operational insights: how many customer issues escalated from a specific team? To wrap up, we've now explored the 3 key transformations: changes, traversals, and prior state. Each of these transformations provides a unique perspective, empowering you to analyze your data with precision and flexibility. In the next video, we'll dive into another advanced topic: how to reference attributes from another analytic object. This concept, often referred to as joining tables in SQL, is an incredibly powerful tool for unlocking insights by combining data across analytic objects. Don't miss it. This technique can take your analytics to the next level.